Your boy, Bert Kreischer, is coming to New Orleans Saturday, February 8th. He's bringing Nikki Glazer, Tony Hinchcliffe, and Adam Ray as Dr. Phil.
We'll be right back.
Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
When I was in jail, I was like, this is not for me. I hate the conversations in here. Like, it's no clocks on the wall.
I hate the conversations in here.
It's like, what? This is
These all seem like you guys are trying to better yourselves.
like we're not on the same page. You know, respectfully, guys. Like, please, don't put me back in.
You're such a Renaissance dude. You know, like,
Amen.
like it's almost like music secondary. But to the guy I know.
Right. No, man. I don't. With me, man, the universe and everybody involved, God, Satan, everybody involved. Yeah, because that's the whole universe. It's a it's a really interesting deck of cards I've been given to play. And it allows me to, I feel like I'm in the middle of everything when it comes to, I just try my best to understand where people are coming from and be the voice of the voiceless. Like, it's something that, I came to America as an immigrant. Yeah. I wasn't born here. And, a lot of people would tell you in a lot of situations, like, just mind your business and, keep your head down and just focus on your family. And that's just not who I am. I'm going to say how I feel. I'm going to say what you should say if I know that it's troubling you. And once again, just be the voice of the voiceless. It's just always been, it's something that's just always kind of been a part of me. And with the platform that I have, I mean, even being able to make a platform out of, where it started with music, which wasn't something that I started in, or like I didn't come to America like, oh, I'm finna be the biggest rapper on earth, baby. Yeah. Like, no, but the universe worked it out that way. And man, it's just, this journey, this is year 12 for me. It's just been a hell of a journey, man.
Has it been 12 years?
12.
Wow. So I don't think people really can wrap their head around just how different your breakout was.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like,
I've never known of any breakout like it before. I'm a fan of music. I looked at myself as a professional listener of music before I did music professionally.
Yeah.
And I've never seen an artist come on the scene and do what I did from the jump with the amount of experience that I lack, with the lack of experience that I had. Like, a lot of people, when we find out about them, they already been 8 years in, 5 years in their own local city or local town, selling out, the Bear Cave, but for me, it really was, the universe was like, look, do your homework. It's kind of like my brand. That's why everything is so intentional with me. But
everything's intentional. It really is.
Because I only work in the things that actually work in my life, or like it reveals itself to me.
Yeah.
Like, to have my brand Homework that I'm wearing right now and my shoe and stuff like that. The reason why I was able to even do music, or what I did, my process was, okay, two things, not traumatic, but two main things happened. And it was like, okay, I need to add more revenue or income to my life. I'm taking care of my mom, and, I'm doing the best that I can. I'm trying to stay fly. But I got bigger aspirations, what I'm saying? Yeah. And like, you can't just live your life, not tell any young person this, or a person that just don't get it. Like, you can't just live your life just to take care of your mom and be fly. Like, you should want more. I always push people to want more. You know what I'm saying?
That would be cool if that was your whole life. It's like, all I gotta do is be fly and take care of my mom. I'm fucking done with one of them.
Oh, man. If that's like the God contract, like, all you gotta do is sign here, take care of your mom and stay fly. That's it. That's all you gotta be to be a man. Here's your penis.
You said something one time, and I identify. Oh, fuck. I just realized what that is. I identify so much with you as an artist and as a man. You said, you were like, I don't know where I heard it, but you said I was cool in high school. And I was cool as fuck in high school.
Yeah.
I was really cool. When I got into comedy, I realized none of these dudes were cool in high school. None of them. Like, a lot of them are here because they actually weren't cool in high school.
Exactly.
And then that all of a sudden it was like this weird, like, almost bullying, where you, like, they would, like, I don't know, like, check you a little bit. And I was like, what the fuck? And I remember my buddy, Eddie Fernandez was like, knock that dude out. And I was like, no, I can't. He's a comedian. He's just, he's like, no, he's being a fucking asshole. Smack him in the fucking face, take his drink, and tell him who the fuck you are. And I was like, oh no, that's not how it works here. It was so hard for me to navigate.
Yeah.
I'm curious to hear what it was like for you, because I would love to hear your experience with it.
Yeah, same thing. Like when things, boom, like I said, the two things that happened was one, I got locked up with my ex-girlfriend and we both went to jail. It wasn't a long time, got out. And when I was in jail, I was like, this is not for me. In my mind, I was like, I hate the conversations in here. Like, it's no clocks on the wall.
I hate the conversations in here.
It's like, what? This is
These will seem like you guys are trying to better yourselves.
Like, you want to get down. Like, they want to make a community in there, and it's like, I want to get out of here. Like, we're not on the same page. Respectfully, guys. Like, please don't put me back in. I don't have nothing to prove to you guys. But once again, freedom matters. And so I get out. I'm like, yeah, Because also,
what'd you guys get locked up for?
Weed and driving without license.
Okay.
She was driving without a license, suspended license. So automatically in Georgia, you get pulled over that, they're taking you to jail.
Yeah.
Or whatever. They don't care. And me wanting to be a good boyfriend, took the weed charge. It's like, I don't want her to take all of it. You know what I'm saying? But ridiculous or whatever. Yeah. Like, you should never go to jail. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, be the boss and get the people who don't care about going to jail. Yeah. Because she had already been. It's not like it was her first time. I was like, it was nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She wasn't tripping or whatever. I was like, wow, I'm fucking a gangster. You know what I'm saying? And so,
fucking a gangster.
And so I got out and, I said to myself, I was like, man, I got to really figure it out. In the midst of that, what I was doing at the time, I was working at a men's boutique in Atlanta, in the inner city Atlanta, had a really incredible client base. That turned me into being a stylist. And the guy who I was working for, I had a lot of respect for him because he gave me a chance to do what I thought was my dream job, until it turned into my nightmare situation. And when dreams turn to nightmares, it's almost like, whoa. Because this is my dream job to have basketball was my first thing coming to this country. That didn't work out because I lost my eligibility transferring school so much. And then I was like, all right, what am I going to do? And then I was like, well, I've always had style. My own style always been unique. And so fashion mattered. The friends that I made in Atlanta, they were fashion oriented. So I'm fashion oriented. And so I get this dream job. Work all the way up to being the guy. And then I'm having a conversation one day with my boss. And when you work in a mom and pop shop, when you work in a mom and pop shop, you build a relationship with those people that are very family oriented because it's small. You see these people all the time. So if you have a child, if you're my boss and you have a child or whatever, I'm going to ask you about that child. Like, how's your kid, man? Boom, boom. I did that to him. I was like, hey, man, how your son? Because he hadn't talked about it. He told me he had a son. And then he had a son later in life, too. So it's like 36 or 37, first kid.
Yeah.
And so, I was happy for him or whatever, but he had never, brought the kid by or never really talked about the kid. So one day he's sitting there at the register. I'm sitting here to the side of the register like a sidecar on a motorcycle. And I just say to him, like, man, how your son? And then he says to me, man, one of those things 6 months going on 60 or something like that, just growing up fast.
Yeah.
That was the idea behind it. And then in that same conversation, I'm looking out this way. We're just looking, waiting on people to come through the door. He's looking out that way, same thing. He's just like, man, one day you'd be working for him, and for some, he didn't say it in a malicious way.
No, but it's...
be like, we were cool. That's my guy. I could talk to him now. I'm like, hey, what's up, man? How you doing? How whatever. Korean guy. You know what I'm saying? And something inside of my brain and my spirit a lot of things flashed before me in my face, in my head. And I was like, no, the fuck I won't.
Yeah.
We were working for and this was this is back in the day. So nobody was talking about Black-owned businesses. And
by the way, hang on. One of my favorite songs.
Hey, Black-owned, baby.
Black-owned.
Come on, man. Right.
I was listening to that. I apologize to take you off track, but that song hit me during the pandemic.
Yes.
And you have that line, mask on. And all I could, every time I put my mask on,
you turned into a Black-owned business.
Yeah.
You put that mask on, Bert is now Black-owned business, everybody.
Dude, I love that song. You have so many fucking songs I love. And I'll tell you, I have to give you a compliment, but when we get back into this, I realized today why I like your music. Your voice has so much texture to it that when you sing, you have the thing that some people, I heard a rapper once say one time, so I think it was Method Man, said, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And he said, that's what makes great rap. It's how you say it. And it's the truth is the best rappers there's something about the way you hear their voice. You have such texture. You have such your voice emotes so much feeling. And I was like, I got to tell him that today.
Thank you. That means a lot, man. Frequency is everything. My voice is the reason why I won't quit or allow naysayers to hold any weight on my trajectory.
Do you love your loved ones that live far away and you wish they could be closer to you? Brother, I have the most perfect gift for these holiday seasons. Skylight Frame. Skylight Frame is the touchscreen digital photo frame for your whole family, and they're all going to love it. Upload thousands of photos with your phone and watch them appear in seconds. It is so easy to use and even easier to set up. My mom did it in Tampa in less than 60 seconds. It only takes a tap on your phone to send a new photo to a frame across the country. It's the fastest, easiest way to keep those loved ones in the loop of what you're doing and how you're living life. If you've got grandchildren, you've got daughters in college, and if you just got friends, they feel so much more connected to you. The touchscreen is a game changer. Swipe through the photos, tap in to see new ones that have been sent, tap the heart button to say thank you to the sender. I'm telling you, my daughters have them at college. We have them for my daughters. My daughters post pictures to us. It's so much better than looking through their Instagram because, kids these days have burner accounts. My parents got them. Our friends, the campers, they all have them. And we just share the photos that we think those people would love. And now, as a special limited time offer for our listeners, get $20 off your purchase of a Skylight Frame when you go to skylightframe.com/Bert. That's SKYLIGHTFRAME.com/Bert. Get $20 off your purchase now at skylightframe.com/Bert. Dude, look at me in this shirt. Honestly, my arms have not grown at all. I'm being dead serious. From when I was fat to today, my arms have not grown at all. It's not me, it's the shirt. It's True Classic. True Classic makes the best shirts for guys like us. Guys who have big arms and a little bit of a belly, because that's how you get the big arms. And it's just loose here in the belly, tight in the arms. You look jacked, you feel good. It's so soft. The best-selling t-shirts, hoodies, and jeans come in 3, 6, and 9 packs. And these are premium products at a very affordable price. Shirts that literally fit perfectly for guys like us with just the right amount of room in the midsection. I'm telling you right now, trusted by over 4 million customers, 200,000 positive reviews. There's nothing better than putting on a t-shirt and looking nice. And for most of us, if you get the regular t-shirt, they're not good fitting t-shirts. I honestly, I swear to God, I went to a very popular store and I bought their very popular brand and I sized it up against a True Classic shirt. And the way this is cut is just superior. The holidays are here. And True Classic's ultra comfortable, perfect fitting essentials make for the perfect gift for you and the men in your life. So if you're ready to upgrade your closet, shop now and unlock big savings during their huge holiday sale. Just go to my exclusive link at trueclassic.com/Bertcast to save. That's trueclassic.com/Bertcast. Please support our show and tell them that Bert sent you. It's the end of the year. End it with holiday cheer. Thanks to True Classic. I do look good, True Classic. I do look good in this shirt, right? I look jacked.
But finishing up story, he says that, and this is not a time of like Black-owned businesses. How I grew up around my dad. My dad has done paint and body work on cars for 50 years. I've always only known my dad to own his own business. The hardest working man that I know. He planted that hard working bug in me to a fault almost, where you also have to learn to get to life where it's like you're not just working hard, you're working smarter. Because you work hard and to be all beat up and don't really have nothing to show for it. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not working correctly.
Yeah.
And so when that happens and he says that, I don't say anything to him about it. I don't check him or nothing. It's just all internal where I feel like, no, I won't be working for your son. Like he's a 6 months or a child. I mean, what? Like this, it just felt crazy. Like
I hope not.
Yeah, you know, like I thought of.
You think I am?
Man, oh my goodness. I don't know. You know, it's so scary, man, because it's like one of the thoughts that popped in my mind was a really close older person in my life who, when I came to America from Trinidad as an immigrant, I lived a lot of places. Like we did Canada, went back to Trinidad, then came to Florida, Jacksonville. And from Jacksonville, so I lived there as a baby kid, not baby, but kid. And we went to New York. And from New York, stayed with some family there. Then we came to Atlanta.
Yeah.
Left Atlanta, went to South Carolina. And then that's when I'm in high school and things like that. And that's when I'm going back and forth, right? So I lived a few places, right? Young, because my pops. And when I'm in Atlanta, you know, Atlanta really molded me. So if somebody asks me where I'm from, I'm going to say Atlanta. Now, I was born in Trinidad. I'm always going to be proud of my country, 1,000%. That's why I named myself Trinidad James, you know? But Atlanta's where I'm from. Atlanta molded me as a man. And when he says that to me, it's a shoe store because we have a shoe connect. We have a passion for shoes. It's a store called Walters. You ever do a show in Atlanta, you must go by Walters.
I think it's, if I'm not mistaken, it's right by the Tabernacle.
It's in the downtown Atlanta area.
Yeah.
So it's not too far. It's like really in the city.
Yeah. By
the Coca-Cola sign and all types of
CNN.
shit. Yeah. In that area. Walters, legendary. Been there 60 plus years.
Really?
Yeah, amazing.
They have a website?
Oh yeah. WaltersClothing.com.
I just started shopping at I don't know the right way to say this, but there's only one way to say it. It's like black clothing stores.
Right. Urban. That's urban.
It's like where black dudes shop.
Yeah.
And so I just started going there, and God, I bet this place is fucking awesome.
Yeah, Walters. That's it. That's a beautiful place right there, Walters, man.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm, right by Georgia State University.
Oh wow, this would fuck me up.
Oh yeah, they're legend. They've been there, like I said, 60 years, just pure nostalgia, great vibes, great people.
This would fuck me up. Keep going.
One of my amazing OGs. When I first got my first paycheck, one of the first places that I spent almost all my money was there.
Really?
I'm 15 years old. I'm working landscaping. My first paycheck is $550 and like 50-some cents. Man, I get home with my first paycheck. I probably had like $28 left, or whatever. And I went and bought shoes from them, boom, boom, boom. But I bring that up because when my boss at the time at the store that I worked with, which was 2 blocks from here, when he said that statement about his son, like, you know, one day you're working for him. And I was like, no, I won't. Internally, one of the people I thought about was my OGs from that store. And I thought about, at the time when he's saying this to me, now I'm working at that store. But at the time when I first started going down there, this is like 5 years apart, 5-6 years apart, 7 years apart. Mind you, the same people that I bought my shoes from, they still worked at this Walters, and now I'm running the store.
Oh,
and they were still there, right?
Yeah.
And mind you, this is no diss to my guys. Like I love them. Like they're dedicated to their job and like they make good money. They get tips, however, because they got such a crazy client base, so they make good money on the side, right? Rappers have talked about them in songs and stuff like that because everybody shop with them, and I was just like, I don't know if I want to be in a store working for somebody for that long. That was just, so all that was the motivation for me to like get into music and like, okay, figure out what I'm going to add to change my life. And I wanted to own my own store. And that's why I started doing music, because I wanted to own my own store.
It's so interesting. I never, I didn't know the comedy had other things to offer than just stand-up comedy. Like I was really like an idiot about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I got into this business and I started seeing all the things you could get out of it, I was like, oh fuck. Like I don't know if I got into the business today, I don't even know if I get into comedy. Like it's what I love but it's all I know and it's all I care about. Like all I do is think about jokes.
Right.
All I do is think about, I mean, it's where my head's at.
Yeah. You asked that question, like, because you asked me, how was it for you? Your original question is, how was it for me with having to deal with high school tactics from people? I would have like realized like, oh, when you're a genuine cool guy, you've been cool before fame, and now people are cool because they're famous. How did I react to that?
Yeah.
I give you that backstory with all that because, long story short, boom, that popped in my mind. I said it to say because even I popped off as an artist, and I'm here where I'm at. Last year, the year before last, that's one of the same people I was telling you about. They passed away in the store.
Really?
Caught a heart attack, bro. You know what I'm saying? And so it was like, where do you want to die at? Right? Where do you want your legacy to, and it was one of those things where it was like, man, I appreciate that, the other OGs who I'm cool with there, and one of them, my boy Kumite, I hope he lives forever.
His name's Kumite?
My guy who's still alive.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Sean is the one who passed away.
But do you have a friend named Kumite?
Kumite, yeah.
As in the fucking blood sport where they fight in the Kumite?
It feels like that, but it's spelled different. But
okay.
yes. Yeah, but that's his name,
What a
Kumite.
badass fucking name.
Amazing. Young Jeezy raps about Kumite in his songs.
Real?
Like, because of Walters.
Really?
Like buying Air Force Ones from Walters or whatever. But ask Kumite. It's literally, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how tapped in these guys are with culture, artists, and how they're not just some sales associate. That's the point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I have the type of respect for them as like, this is a man that I actually not look up to, but at one point in time, I was like, this was the standard or whatever of like, damn, how to be a good person in the midst of fame, in the midst of having any clout. These are the people that I looked up to.
Yeah.
And, or respected. And so I say that to say, I've always been grounded and surrounded by solid people before fame. And like I said, I knew I was cool. So once I got into the business, artists used to shop with me in my store before I did music. I didn't even tell people I was doing music when I started doing it. I would just put my CD in their bag. Just put it there, leave it there. Like I wasn't saying nothing because I didn't want, I guess it's the Caribbean in me where it's like, I'd rather pull my pants up and tighten my belt than ask for help.
I identify with that.
Right?
I identify with that.
I'm to anybody listening, that's not always the way. It's like, if you know that you need help, get the help, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Especially if your intentions is good on the bigger picture and you're the visionary, ask for the help. Anywho's, because of the solid people in my life, once I got into the business and, everything was just a storm, it was one of those things where I was like, wow, I could tell when somebody's trying to be cool compared to people that are just cool. And
oh my God.
It reeks.
I think I told you this. Big Boy from Outkast is the one that turned me on to you.
I think I forgot you told me that. That is right, though.
And I was like, as soon as I saw you, I couldn't unsee everything differently.
Right.
And it's like, and I got to be honest with you, I saw it because I was like, oh man, Big Boy always has like great taste in dudes. Because like André 3000 is probably one of the coolest dudes in the fucking world. He's cool. He doesn't try to be cool.
Cool.
He plays a flute in fucking Venice.
In Jordans.
Yeah. He's a bad. You ever met? I know you've met André 2000.
Well, yeah, not a lot of times, but the couple times that I have, life changing.
Really?
Because it's just.
Does he get you?
He gets it. He gets me. The first time was me asking him to executive produce my album, and that's when he was like, "Man, I ain't made a beat in 20 years," and I was like, "Damn." Shit. Okay. You know what I'm saying? But what he did say to me that first time that stuck with me, he was like, man, I don't know how to sing, but I know he said, I don't know how to sing, but the things I want to sing, I figure out how to sing it. And I was like, oh, shit. I don't know how to sing, but the things that I want to sing, I figure out how to sing it.
Fucking, hey, someone write that down.
What? That stuck with me. And that's a gem. Like, take that, whoever, but
I don't know how to write a joke, but I know what makes me laugh.
Exactly.
And that is like, when I got into comedy, I couldn't figure out how they were doing it, but I was like, but I know why I laugh and I know what makes me laugh.
Mm-hmm.
I remember looking and going, oh, so there's a formula you can do.
Mm-hmm.
There's a clear, hey, do you guys remember Radio Shack?
Yeah.
Shack's in the title. It's a shack. It's a Radio Shack. And I was like, okay, there's a formula to do this. But I go, but I don't feel like that's not me. Keep going. I'm sorry.
And I identify with that, taking it back or whatever, that's what All Go Everything was, and represented that. My first project, Don't Be Safe, was that expression of like, I'm a professional listener of music, like I said, and I see everything that everybody's doing. But I believe that, well, first of all, I could only really do what I'm capable of doing.
Yeah.
I only have so much rap experience, but I have this much culture experience because I'm dressing the culture. The artists that are coming to shop with me, they're not just coming just to buy clothes and leave. They're coming and be like, hey, I actually, like, if this was all the stuff that we sold in our store, they would come and be like, man, I want to put it on like you. I want to put it together like you. And so that allowed me to know, like, okay, I have a power here in my image. What I need to focus on is the craft, which is the rapping and the math of it and understanding. But as I continued and, really did that, I realized that, like, man, I feel like I still am, I'm making a blueprint that's not blue. It's a whole different color because it is a version of what you know of music, but it's just different because my intentions are different, my voice is different, my look is different, my approach is different.
The way you see the world's different.
All that.
I mean, just to go back to probably the most notable just thumbprint was the video for All Gold Everything. It's such a fucking, like, it's so fucking memorable. It's so like, and that's your style. That's you saying, let's shoot the video. This is my vision. This is how I see it. And it was like, God damn it. Like, and the song's great, but that fucking video with that song, and no one had a concept of doing that. No one was doing that yet.
Nope.
Everyone was doing their own, doing a derivation of something they had seen someone else already do.
Exactly. And that's where my approach was. I was like, visually, I should be able to make things that don't feel like, I just wanted to make things that wasn't already there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, from a visual standpoint. Music, I knew that it would take time because you're not just going to be like, oh, I'm rapping and now you're the best rapper. Like, that's not that, and the bigger picture was more of, you know what? I don't care about being the best rapper. I actually more care about being the best entertainer.
Dude, I love the way your brain works. Like, you do these, you're self-funding them, but you're doing like, get-togethers with creative people.
Yeah, Reflection Sundays.
I saw that and I was like, dude, I want to go to one. Because if you're around interesting people, it rubs off on you.
Amen.
So tell everyone what it is that you're doing.
So Reflection Sundays is very, very close to what you said. But community, I know that I do so much myself, man. And, I'm proud of myself. I could pat myself on the back. But I need more team. I need help. It always looks like people think that I don't need any help and they think I got it all figured out. I do have the idea figured out, but I still can't execute it without team. And so I knew that I'm relaunching my new band because I took some time off from doing my own music, and I started focusing on other people's careers. So behind the scenes, we've been writing music, doing people's stage shows, showing them how to be a better artist, being almost like a life coach in a lot of artists' life. I have an agency very similar to what modern day artist development is.
678
567.
Motherfucker.
Got him. 678 is Atlanta area code. So yeah,
is it really?
Yeah. Your mind works. It ain't too bad, baby. It works, baby. But 567. The 5 stands for change. The 6 stands for love, and the 7 stands for completion. The idea behind 567 is that everybody has a step 1, and you want to go to 10. But most creatives don't know the process or want to go through the process, which is the 567 to success.
Oh, hold on. That's really profound.
5 is change, 6 is love, 7 is completion. Most people, everybody has a step 1, and you want to go to 10. But most creatives and most people do not know or want to go through the process to success, which is the 5, 6, 7. Because I've had to go through the process the hard way my whole 12 years, I just gained a love for it. And in 2020, I was able to start becoming like a creative director for artists. And then that kind of just opened the door of like, oh man, a lot of people need my help. Because of that, before music, like I told you, I was a stylist. All I do is try my best to make you your best. All I do is sell confidence. My brand is based in confidence. And, you know, I said that to say, taking it back to what you're asking about, Reflection Sundays. I know that I need help in doing the things that I want to do for 2025. And I was like, well, you know, however it's going to come, God will work it out. But I know that what's important in order to do anything is community. But I just don't want a random community of just like people who don't care or they're only there for the hype. I want to make a community that's based off of people who love structure, who can appreciate art, who have good character as a person. And when I'm my worst self or depressed or, you know, just in a funk, man, according to what it is, if I have no answers, I go look in the mirror. I go literally look in the mirror and ask myself, like, what the fuck is going on? Because I believe that you have your brain, right? You have your heart. But besides that, in your sternum of your chest, in the middle of it, it's a man or a woman sitting there on a chair by themselves, by a mirror. And you need to go down and talk to that person and ask them what's really going on. Because only that person in your sternum knows the truth. And we take Sundays to reflect on what is that man or woman saying in your sternum, not in your heart, not in your brain, but that person that just knows that ugly truth.
Yeah.
That, you know, it's hard to be vulnerable. I know how hard it is to be vulnerable because I used to be in that space where I don't have nobody to be vulnerable to.
Yeah.
And it's just all on me. And so what I do is, I invite these creatives over, different walks of life. And what we do is I started off first. I get them index cards, give everybody index cards, and we have a reflection jar, like a cookie jar, reflection jar. So you write what you've been reflecting on that week or that day and drop it in the jar. And then, I have, open bar, funded out of my pocket. I got a cool black chef, I still rock with black-owned businesses. So Chef Boots, whatever. If you need some amazing barbecue, he gonna hit you with the smoke. He cooks for us, we have security just so people feel safe because I have celebrity friends that'll come. I want you to feel safe. This is a safe space.
Yeah.
If you don't feel safe, I'm not doing my job. And so you drop your index card inside of the reflection and you move around. I encourage people to ask somebody that you don't know a question that you want the answer to. Talk to somebody that you didn't come here with. I encourage that. Then we do our reflection talk. So what that is I take 15 to 25 minutes and talk about what I've been reflecting on and what I did to solve it or what I'm still doing to try and figure it out because I haven't solved it yet. I'm a realist, man.
Yeah.
I feel that too many things don't feel real and all I know to do is be real. And so, boom, I do that because once I become so vulnerable, it makes it easier for other people to speak up because like, oh, damn, he's being real with us. Like you could tell, like you could feel like how you said my voice, it shows that like this is more than just somebody rapping. Like this is somebody giving you an experience.
Yeah.
It's definitely that in person.
Yeah.
If you can hear it from music, if you talk to me in person, like shit, you naked. Right? And so, boom, I open the space first with what I'm going through, boom, 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 my notes and things. And then I go to the reflection jar and take out different people's thoughts. And if you can hear the things, I don't go through everything because like we've had a good amount of people the times that we've done it, the Sundays we've done it. I probably do like maybe 10 of them, 10, 12, but I read all of them after when everybody's done. And it's like, man, some people you would never think these fashionably dressed people, good looking people.
The list, everyone's beautiful.
Everybody's just beautiful, and it's one of those things where I tell them, don't put your name on it. Leave it anonymous. or whatever. Like, I don't want anybody, because some people literally like just clam up when you put any type of pressure on them. So I want to eliminate any pressure of being singled out.
Yeah.
No, if anybody to be singled out, it'd be me, because I like the light. I want to be the leader. Yeah. I'm cool with that. Totally fine.
Yeah.
And we read out the things. I get perspective on the things on the cards, on the index cards. And I don't know who it's for, but I'm like, hey, maybe this. Or I'll give them an example of something that went on in my life, and to just put the answer out there. And then last segment, I'll probably do that for like 15 or 20 more minutes. And then the last part of it, because it's an hour thing, the last part is leaving the floor open. Is anybody that want to ask any questions or say anything or whatever to get a perspective on. And, you know, we have a really nice age range of the youngest person that we've seen there was a 17-year-old, and then his dad, who, you know what I'm saying, was an older gentleman. And it's been beautiful, man. It's been beautiful because it not just allows people to have that hour moment of the reflection talk, which a lot of people, you realize, especially here in LA and in Hollywood, you need it. But then it's like, oh, well, you know, this person is a crazy director. This person is an amazing stylist. This person is this person is that, or whatever. Like, it's a book by Malcolm Gladwell called The Tipping Point. It's a really great book or whatever. And it speaks about the importance of mavens and connectors. I'm really good at curating because I know that, hey, this person, I don't care if he's white, black, Asian, Spanish, I know that you guys can rock because you rock with me.
Yeah.
And I rock with y'all.
The holidays are the most wonderful time of the year, but whether you're traveling or hosting, keeping track of what matters the most to you this season can feel more hectic than merry. It happened to my dad the other day. Stress less this holiday by stocking up on Life 360's tile trackers. When you're worried about your family's safety or something goes missing, just use the Tile app. Tile is the first and only tracker to offer an SOS alert. Unlike its competitors, the Tile won't alert thieves to the presence via notifications. Add your Tile tracker to your Life 360. I love Life 360. I've been using Life 360 I'm a platinum member. I have 15 people on my Life 360, and you can see your family and all your stuff in one spot. I got so many new tiles. I put them on my keys. I put them in my wallet. I put them in my luggage. I've said this before. I've talked about this a lot. I track my daughters on Life 360 obsessively. I track my parents on Life 360. My dad will call me and he goes, "You're at the airport." We love Life 360. And now that it's all in one face, and I can go on Life 360 and go, cool, wallet's at the house. Cool, keys are in the car. It's so useful. I'm telling you, family-proof your family with Life 360's tile trackers. Visit tile.com today and use code Bertcast to get 15% off. That's tile.com, code Bertcast. Look, I've talked about it a lot. I work out every day. I'm obsessed with building muscle, not actually to look better. I'm never going to look great. But for me, it's about muscle burning fat and just being a little healthier. And protein is the key to building muscle. That's why I use True Nutrition. True Nutrition provides the highest quality health supplements on the market. No filler, no BS, and you can make it yourself. I sat with it and got to build my own protein powder. And they had everything. They had different types of protein, different selections of protein, different flavors, pre, intra, post-workout formulas, electrolytes, vitamins. They had everything. And I went and I put in psyllium husk. I put in collagen. I used whey protein. I made it chocolate. And here's what I love about True Nutrition is all ingredients and supplements are third-party tested, but also first-party tested on-site for purity and further ensuring that you get exactly what you want, exactly what you ordered. And I'm telling you, if you're like me, you're going to love getting creative and customizing your own protein, or maybe like a green mix. Leanne got a green mix from True Nutrition. For a limited time, our listeners get 15% off your entire order when you use promo code Bertcast at checkout. That's 15% off your order at truenutrition.com with the promo code Bertcast. Take the guesswork out of nutrition with True Nutrition. So for every mediocre white dude out there, right. No swag, no nothing.
Yes.
What's the one subtle thing in fashion and style that they could take from black culture insert in their lives, and all of a sudden everyone would see them move a little differently through the universe?
It's shoes.
It's shoes,
It's
right?
shoes.
Shoes are
It's
so
shoes.
dude.
It's shoes.
It's shoes.
It's
so
shoes.
let's break down some shoes real quick.
I mean, if you're a mediocre white guy or white woman, you rock. I mean, Travis Scott's. I'm not white Air Force Ones.
Travis Scotts are so uncomfortable.
Yeah, right.
They're so uncomfortable. Just so we're clear,
Right.
I have a pair of Travis Scotts and I cannot wear them because I go, there's no cushion. I feel that some way about most Jordans.
Well, you see, that's the thing about it is Jordans nowadays, they're made a peculiar way. Like people, it feels like people have wider feet now than they did back in the day, because if you look at all the silhouettes from before, it's like all these narrow ass shoes. Like, who was rocking this?
Did you watch Last Dance?
Of course.
Did you remember when Jordan goes, you know what? Just for fun, I'm going to play in the original Jordans. All I thought was his toes will be bleeding at the end of the night.
And it's no telling. A lot of times when it comes to if Jordan had a bad experience with his own shoe, he's not going to tell us because it's company.
Yeah.
Whatever, you know what I'm saying? But he probably cuss somebody out of Nike or get this piece of shit. It's Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Like,
dude, you're so right. Shoes. I'm a Nike SB Dunk guy.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
a Nike SB Dunk Lows.
Legendary.
That's my fucking shoe.
That's the jam.
That's my favorite shoe without a doubt. I don't even care. My favorite ones are the Doritos. I wear those.
Oh yeah, orange, green, white. Beautiful.
I wear those.
Yeah.
And then here's the problem. I got into them a long time ago, meaning like probably 13 years ago. Probably.
Oh yeah. SBs, yes.
And I started, and I had some legendary SBs.
Oh yeah, 13 years ago, you had some of that stuff.
that I just wore. Because I wore them everywhere. And now I look
As you
back
should.
and I go, fuck, I wish I hadn't worn some of them as much. Because I would buy a pair and I'd just wear the fuck out of them.
Right. I feel that. I identify with that too. When I first found out about SBs and things like that, I just wore them because you wear your shoes, right? I paid for them. But like some of them is like, man, I wish I had took better care of them. Not to never wear them, but like just so they would be better now.
Yeah, I know. I have a pair in my trunk. I was going to show you if you saw them. They're like really hard to get. And I not only that, I wore them to play tennis one time.
Oh, wonderful.
I remember Tommy said, are you wearing, and he called out my shoes, Tom Segura. He called out my shoes. I go, yeah. And this is before I knew anything about and now I look back.
Like, what are you doing?
You know
Bert?
which ones I started looking for last night?
What?
Because of you? The Heinekens.
Oh yeah.
They're like $5,000.
Yeah, crazy. I caught them for like $1,000 when
For real?
I bought them. How whatever. Yeah.
What's
Shout
that?
out to Index. If you're ever in Portland, it's a store called Index.
Yeah.
Some really good guys. I'm on that spot. Amazing. Or whatever. Like Index. They're one of the best sneaker stores in Portland.
What's sneaker brand? What sneaker brand would you want to get a call from today where they go? And I know you work with some, but like if you would love to get a call from today that needs help, like
Fila.
Oh yeah,
Fila, Reebok. You know what I'm saying? If we talk about needing help.
yeah.
Puma.
Puma had a minute in the
You know what I'm
fucking
saying?
early 2000s.
And they're making a resurgence now. You know what I'm saying? Like I want Puma or whatever. Like they got A$AP Rocky, so they're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
But I think like Fila, Reebok, those are as far as needing help. As in a perfect world, I like, it's a company called Camper. I would love to be there.
Camper.
Yeah.
Dude, Camper used to have.
They got really cool shoes. I would love to just bring my style to Camper. And
Pull up Camper. Camper. Brad Pitt used to wear Camper
probably
shoes.
so. Probably so. It's like one of those brands. Like if you know
Yeah.
it, you know it. If you don't, you know what I'm saying. Yeah, Camper. I love the quality. I create stuff with a triple C is my formula, where that's comfort, colorway, cost. That's how I design stuff. But first of all, no matter what, nothing you can make an excuse for it has to be quality. And I think that stuff is quality. So they already understand quality. So I just want to bring my taste to their quality.
Yeah. I got my wife on shoes. My wife never really.
Leanne,
Yeah.
my girl.
We got her a pair of Jordans. You know the Jordans that had the double laces, the old school. Goddamn, I'm so bad with shoes that I know.
Yeah, you know what you got, but you don't know what they are.
I don't know what it's called. It's like when you meet a watch guy and he's like, if you ever meet John Mayer and talk about watches,
he's gonna make you feel like
he's like, you mean reference number 59730, and you're like, I don't know.
It's a G-Shock. I just got a G-Shock, bro. I just got a G-Shock.
Isn't it cool being into something?
Oh man, for sure. Like, it's beautiful. I think it's beautiful and you identify with it because being able to, your passions is what should pay you. You know, a lot of people look at their passions like, oh, it's just a hobby. But I think your passion should pay you, how whatever, and things that are not your passion should be your hobby, how whatever. Because to me, that puts you, like the thing that you can effortlessly do is the thing that you really want to pay you, how whatever, you know, that's what I've been learning because you never want your passion to be stifled by like, oh, I can't afford to do it, or that. Like, no, it's just like because you love to do it. So it's like you losing a part of yourself when you can't accomplish the thing that, like, you effortlessly tell comedy. Why would you not tell comedy? But that doesn't mean that you can't do all the other businesses that you do. Yeah. Or whatever is like, if people made you doing comedy tough, that would suck because it's like, man, I'm already passionate about doing it, and you're smart. You made it pay you. Whatever, you could have just been a funny guy to your friends.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, oh, man, Bert, the funniest guy I know. How whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, you should go up there and do a local bar. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But you decided like, oh, no, I'm going to take this on tour and like really lock in and be the guy.
Can you pinpoint the influence or the time in your life that turned you into the guy you are? Like, because like you're so different in that you're. And I know that you grew up with a lot of, like, you grew up, I think, if I'm not mistaken, in South Carolina, it was an all-white school. Mm-hmm. And then in Atlanta, it was all black school. Yeah. And like, do you remember the moment where you were like, hey, so I'm not going to just be this one type of guy?
I think I lived a lot of places, but that unit of friends that I grew up with in Atlanta, Georgia, that probably really opened the doors because it was like 3 or 4 people. I had a guy who he was obviously cool, but hardworking. So his dad owned a carpet business, whatever. So that's how he made his money. He was a ladies' man, really, really, really cool. That was him. Then we had another guy who was like an enigma. Like, he was really good at video games. He was musical taste was amazing. Like, you know, showed us, you know, rock and roll stuff early and like not hardcore, but more of like that 2000s type of like alternative rock type stuff. Whereas like, oh, I grew a liking to, you know, 5 Seconds to the Moon of bands like that. I can't think what the name is right now.
I know. What is it? 50 Seconds to Mars?
Something like that. Right? You know what I'm saying? 27 Seconds to Death. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. But
so you had like an A-team of cool around you.
Yeah, A-team of cool or whatever. With still my immigrant brain.
That's right. Because for lack of better words, you are an outsider.
Exactly. I'm an outsider. And really, you're seeing the experience.
That's so fucking crazy.
It's like,
you really are a traveler. You're like you're coming in like once again, for lack of better terms, as an alien into this culture going like,
oh God, the dopamine is crazy.
Oh, and I didn't even realize your dad is from Tobago.
Yeah. Yeah. And my mom is from Trinidad. They were both born there too. You know what I'm saying? So sponge, you know, like Trinidad, you know, that had only so much of an influence on me as a child. I had a head injury when I was super young too, so I don't even remember a lot of stuff.
Really?
Whatever, from the age of 7 backwards.
What happened?
Hey, the person that was watching me, they took their eyes off of me, and I was an active kid, man. I had this little bike. I ride it through your house, and out the back, through the front door, out the back door, because it's shotgun houses. But you know, in those type of houses, the steps are these stone steps. I wasn't riding a bike, but running, fell, cracked my head on the steps, went into a coma. And when I woke up out of the coma, just, you know, obviously I'm still alive, but I just can't remember anything from my childhood at that age. So I don't really remember things of being a child until I'm in America, until I'm What, dude? I mean, 9, 10, or 10, 11, 12.
Yeah.
Or whatever. So before 10, I don't know anything because I mentally is somewhere in my cortex, but it's damaged. So unless, Elon can go in there and, like, hey, well, here's your 1 through 9.
So you have no memory of living in the islands?
Not as a baby, not as a child. I remember my one friend, which was really interesting because my one friend was this Indian kid named Charlie. And then when I came to America, my first friend in Atlanta was named Charlie. Really? So it was really, really crazy. But that's all I remember from Trinidad as a kid.
Yeah.
So I can't say that, it molded me. Really, is really because I was too young in Florida, in Jacksonville. I didn't do anything. New York, I was still too young. We were living in family, figuring it out. New York is crazy. I didn't do it. Atlanta was that first feel of freedom of like getting to be my own kid or whatever. And like, man, I'm making actual friends. I had no friends in Jacksonville. I had no friends in New York. All I had was family or my mom. You know what I'm saying? And my mom and dad. And then coming to Atlanta that's when I started making actual friends. And so that first unit of actual friends, that molded a lot of, my taste. My character, I have to give that to my parents, the way they raised me.
Yeah.
My mom's a super Jehovah's Witness. My dad is not.
Your mom's a Jehovah's Witness?
Super Jehovah.
Kurt Metzger, I think, was a Jehovah's Witness.
Tons of people. Michael Jackson, Prince was a Jehovah's Witness. All the people was Jehovah's Witness. Yeah, it's a thing. And Jehovah's Witness get a lot of different reps. I could only speak from a positive place because, like I said, my mom is still a Jehovah's Witness right now as we speak. She's been in 2 decades at least. And then my pops is a super Christian. And it should feel like it's the same thing, but really understanding my first understanding of what classism or racism is, it wasn't based off of like black-white stuff. It was more of the difference in religion. If you're into a religion that somebody's not, there's beef.
Yeah.
However, people take it serious, man.
It's crazy that it's
insane, bro.
Wars.
It's a war.
I mean,
religious
wars. There's
wars.
one going on right
religious
now.
wars. Like it's like literally, bro. Like about like based off of just experience and like in real time. When you're reading a book about the past, that was their real time. Your real time is now.
Yeah.
So to hold that book to the same weight as 1000 BC in 2023 or 2024 is really, really a concept that I can't fully agree with. Because for me, my God is my conscience. My God is, right, wrong. What choice you gonna do? What you gonna do? Based off of how I came up. Because I watched my parents split because of religious differences. And then one of the religious leaders that my pops was following, however, because he wasn't Jehovah's Witness, years later, like 4 or 5 years later, 6 years later, whatever, years later, I come back over to the house in Carolina to visit him. And the picture of the guy is gone. I was like, where's the picture of your guy? Or whatever, because it's a picture of a guy with like a halo. They caught this image of a guy and it had like some type of like angelic halo over his head. And he was like the guy. Mm-hmm. And he was like, I don't believe in that no more. I just believe in straight Bible or whatever. And I was like, what? You literally broke up my mom. Because like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and my pops, we're really, really cool now. You know what I'm saying? So like, I can speak about this because it's totally fine. But I don't even think that he realized, because I never made it a big deal that they separated. I just stayed with him. I was like, I never got to stay with my dad. I'm staying with my dad. Get out of here, woman.
Yeah.
Right? I'm young, stupid. And I really was yearning to have a relationship with my dad because he was so cool on paper. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to stay with my dad. And so when they split, my mom went back to Atlanta and I stayed in Carolina with my pops. And, you know, it was cool, but then it wasn't cool because we didn't relate. And that's why I said good on paper.
Yeah.
It was just like, oh, this is horrible. Like, and that's what, you know, threw off my first dreams of playing basketball because like, oh, I'm staying with my dad 9th grade. We get into it. I leave Carolina, go to Atlanta, and go to school at the black school and my mom. Or whatever. Get into it with my mom. I go back to the white school with my dad in Carolina. Get into it really bad with my dad, 11th grade, or whatever. 12th grade, in Atlanta, back at the black school with my mom. And I think of that divide that happens there in my family, and it's based on religion, really. You know what I'm saying? Like, they might have had their own issues of just like, oh, I'm tired of being married to Leanne. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just whatever. Like, I hate Bert. Like, yeah, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not putting the toilet seat down or whatever. That's that or whatever. Yeah. But religion on top of that is what really was like, we can't do this anymore. You know what I'm saying? And to come and find out that, like, you don't even believe in the God no more, that everybody in your whole religious world was, you know, basing everything on or whatever. And it was kind of just like, for me, that's why I believe in God in me. And I believe in my conscience. Yeah. Because it's just like, man, putting my all into a book or into a man or a woman preaching from a pulpit, they're humans, man. They're full of flaws.
Hey, tell me about your brand, HOMMEWRK.
HOMMEWRK, Jesus Christ. Buy some stuff, guys. We need you. HOMMEWRK is, man.
You pull up the website. You gave me the first shoes. And these are dropping.
So these are drop on the 21st and 22nd of November.
I like the colors.
Thank you.
What are the all orange SB Dunks?
The Lobster Lows?
Lobster Lows.
Oh, yeah.
I love those.
I literally looked at those this morning, too.
I was actually saying to Pete, hey, Pete, get those out of my car. I was like, hey, I want to show him my Lobster Lows. And he goes, Bertie's seen every fucking shoe in the world. He's going to go like, cool. But I was going to fly on those with those tonight because I'm playing in Tampa.
HOMMEWRK, for anybody that does not know, I started it in 2020 in the pandemic. It's a curriculum-based brand where we pick a muse. That muse is somebody that I believe you should do your homework on. HOMMEWRK is how you spell our brand, HOMMEWRK, but it's based off of homework because, like I said, our collections are based off of people or things that I believe that you should know about. I know our first shoe that you saw Tom wearing that we gave me, what's that shoe? That was our first collaboration. We did our first collaboration was one silhouette, which was the Saucony Jazz. For anybody that doesn't know what Saucony is, it's Saucony. It's just you really say it's Saucony. They've been around forever. Legendary mom and pop brand.
I think they pulled up. Can you pull up Saucony? I think they sent me a shoe one time that was really fucking cool. That's fucking. So Saucony was a big running shoe. My dad was a big runner.
Yeah, they've always been really. Their world is really running and walking shoes.
Yeah,
1000%. When with HOMMEWRK, what we did, we got a chance to. I planted a seed with them in 2018 of like, hey, they commented on one of my pictures, and I was like, hey man, I really feel like we should work together. They were a little surprised, like, why? However, you're a rapper. Because being a rapper is one thing, but it's also a very negative stigma, however, in the business world. Because you sum everything up to like, oh, they're rappers, they're super late, they're this, they're that, they're that. And people don't see rappers as businessmen. They see them as entertainers to just do one thing. It's unfortunate, but it's very true, trust me. Because I came from being a businessman and turned into an artist, however, like I see I've been through every struggle that you can. Like I always have to work 10 times harder to prove to people that I'm a businessman that's an artist. Mm-hmm. And so I told him, I planted a seed with a guy on social media, and I told him like, hey, boom, hey, I think we should do something. And it was like, I don't know,
That's
but
it. What were you just on it? Keep going. Keep going.
Come to the office. And when we came to the office, it was like, okay, boom, this is what we got going on. They had never done a collaboration with a person. They've only done collaborations with the stores. So I was like, okay, cool. I hear that. But I told them, I was like, look, when I came to this country as an immigrant, one of the first sneakers my parents could afford to buy for me was Saucony. And great brands are built off of stories. Great collaborations are built off of stories that are rooted in real emotion and real things. It doesn't get much more realer than that. However, like I first come to this country, one of the first sneakers I ever put on my feet was Saucony. And that really resonated with the guy who I was talking to. 2018 goes by, 2019 goes by. We're keeping in contact here and there. I invite them out to the pop-up shops I'm doing with Complex at Complex Con and things like that. So they're seeing my character. I do. It's in LA. There is a nonprofit called Love My Neighbor and My Friend's House. Love My Neighbor. Not last year, but the year before last. They won nonprofit 501c nonprofit of the year here in LA from the LA Times.
Really?
That same year, I actually got awarded a humanitarian award from that nonprofit because I've been working with them for years. I don't publicize the things that I do on the taking care of anybody. Really, I don't publicize none of it. Like I move like a ghostwriter in life. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because I believe like if you're doing it from the right place, man, you're just doing it from the right place.
Yeah. I used to publicize the fuck out of it. And then I found out that it didn't pay back the way you wanted it to.
Right? Right? And so, boom, 2019 goes by. Anyways, 2020 happens. I'm putting out an album with Young Fire, my guy who I'm telling you about, the same album that Black Owned is on.
Yeah, it's a great album.
The song that you love.
It's a great album.
Thank you. That album, it really hit me hard, sternum feeling. Yeah. Because I know independently I put so much work, money, time into making it. And I was doing all the things. I lined up a show on MTV, this, that, myself. I have no manager, nothing like that. That hasn't been my blessing to be able to just find somebody that knows how to work with me. I'm too unicorn.
I can't imagine. Well, I can't imagine the person. When I meet the person, I'm going to say, hey, you need to meet my friend.
Please.
Because you are like just so different.
Yeah, I'm just like a pink lion running in the jungle. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And we dropped that album. We're getting ready to drop the album, and then the pandemic happens. And when the pandemic happens, I lose all the momentum that I built up to, drop a successful independent album. That puts me in a really, really bad depression. I'm in Miami at the time because, I don't blame people for my things. I blame self. I learned to, people don't care. I'm not blaming you. Like, it's not, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's me. It's me. I'm blaming God because I'm like, wow, like, I really, really, really worked my ass off. You know that I did all this myself. Like I took everything I can, sold this, did that, sold shoes to pay to do this. And it still happened to me, and I wasn't pandemic-proof, pandemic-ready for that. And I was in a weird place, and then one day I just was like, it is what it is. It ain't your fault either, God. However, I just gotta figure it out. However, I'm gonna just start back writing music for people and just go back to the drawing board. It really hurt me to say that because I put so much into that project, Black Filter. But when I got out of my own feelings and out of my own way, the blessings started happening. Saucony called. And it was like, hey man, same guy that I was talking to, he probably was running social media at the time. His name is Jason. That's how he was able to see my DM in 2018. He's the same guy that came to Complex Con in 2019.
Yeah.
And all those things. He hit me. He's like, hey, man, I'm actually the head of collabs now at Saucony.
I remember these shoes.
I'm the head of collabs now at Saucony, and I really want to do collaborations with people who I see value in.
Yeah.
And he gave me a shot he was like, you still want to do that shoe? And I was like, yes. And it was the best blessing. That's how HOMMEWRK came to life. Because like I told you in the beginning, the origin story, I got into music to own my own store.
Yeah.
Not to be famous.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But fame had a different decision. And so I was like, oh man, we're in the pandemic. I can't do shows. How I make money is doing shows. My show is the best thing I got.
Yeah. I remember that panic. I remember that panic, buddy.
You know, my show is the best thing I got. And, you know, performing that's my superpower. However, I'm not trying to out-rap anybody because I can't.
Yeah.
I don't want to, but I'll outperform you. 1,000%, my peers know that.
Yeah.
Because all the things they do are all the things they do is all the things I did.
Yeah.
You know, jumping off stuff, hanging from ceilings, and you know what I'm saying? Like, I've been doing that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And before me, it was punk hardcore bands that did it too. Because one of my buddies put me on Bad Brains and Death Grips and just these bands. Like, oh, these performances, I'm looking at the performance. Like, oh my God. Like, this walking back and forth just as a rap on stage, that's trash.
Yeah.
However, like, you got to perform. Like, you know what I'm saying? With a band, it's a lot easier to kind of go there, but it's still no excuse. Anywho's, they give me a shot to do the shoe, whatever, and that's the shoe that you see Tom have that you asked about that ended up tying us together. That's why I love shoes, because it brings people together.
Oh, yeah.
It always has. And HOMMEWRK, you know, our first curriculum was about a lady named Janelle Penny Commission. And somebody be like, who's that? If you do your homework, you'll find out she was the first Black Miss Universe in 1973 from Trinidad and Tobago, where I was born. Anytime I do the first of something, I always tie in my country. So if you look at All Go Everything, my first major video, I got the Trinidad flags in it, where no American artist had Trinidad flags in it. People thought that was like a blood bandana. Like, oh, is he a gangbanger? No, that's my country.
Yeah.
You know, and I always put on for the country, even when I made the decision. At first, my rap name was Nick James.
Nick James?
Nick James. My friends gave me that name because my style has always been so eccentric off of Rick James, and my name is Nick.
Yeah.
So they called me Nick James. And I was going by that name at first when I first started music, Nick James. But then there was an artist in LA named Nick James, in California, named Nick James. And I just never believed in like battling for a name. Like, I was like, I want to be original. I love being original. I respect things that are original. The artists that I respect are original. Wiz Khalifa is not like Big Sean. Big Sean is not like Wale. Wale is not like J. Cole. You know what I'm saying? Like, André 3000 is not like Lil Jon. Lil Jon is not like Jeezy. Jeezy is, you know, originality is what always stood out to me. So I was like, look, if I'm being original with whatever music and product and art that I'm making, then my name needed to be original. I was like, you know what? I've been in America for a while. I hadn't got my green card yet. And I just got it. Actually. I just got my green card the year prior. So like 2011, I get my green card. 2010 or 2011, as soon as I get my green card, I went back home to Trinidad because I could travel again.
Oh, yeah.
And boom, went to see family. I saw him forever, boom, boom. And then 2012, I pop off. And then 2013, I'm going back to Trinidad as now the #1 artist.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Super, super crazy. And so I only say that to say, taking it back to the brand, when we did our first collection and our first shoe, I dedicated it to Trinidad. And that's her right there, Janelle Penny. I mean, this lady was amazing.
She's still alive.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She was in our campaign.
Instagram.
She was in our campaign in our campaign for the shoe, actually. She wore the clothes and everything.
For real?
Yeah. Amazing woman. Amazing. I mean, she was so beautiful when she, around this time of Miss Universe, Michael Jackson flew to see her.
Are you serious?
His pictures of her and Michael Jackson, like, Google it. It's back in the day, bro. Like, he was smitten. Michael Jackson was smitten by this Trinidadian woman named Janelle Penny Miss Commission. And the reason why I even we chose her was because social media.
Still looks fucking good.
Incredible.
Holy shit.
Incredible. Beautiful, amazing, just a sweet soul. One of my biggest supporters now that we are aligned. You know, and that's what we do. We tell stories of people that you should know.
this shoe, right, is based on
boom. So the shoe is 2 shoes. So I gave you the coach's shoe.
Yeah.
That's about Margaret Wade. Yeah, all right. Margaret Wade is one of the first coaches in women's college basketball to ever win 3 national championships back to back.
Yeah.
She's also the first woman to be a coach in the Olympics when women first got a chance to be in the Olympics in 1976, which is the year that we have on the back of this shoe, which is going to be our player's shoe. So the low top version that I gave you today, I'm going to give you one of these too. I'm just waiting because you're 11, right?
11, 12, whatever.
Right. And so this is our player shoe, the coach's shoe, player shoe. Like, you can't have basketball without team, but this shoe is dedicated to Lucia Harris and just women's basketball, period. And Lucia Harris is amazing because Lucia is the first and one of the only women to ever get drafted by the NBA.
I want to deep dive her so bad because for mental health reasons, she didn't go.
Exactly.
But I'm like,
and she get drafted by the NBA. The New Orleans Jazz is the team she gets drafted by. Back in the day, it's in the newspaper and everything, and she does not show up because she does not think that she's worthy enough to be there.
I mean, like I have a hard time pulling myself away from my phone because I go, I want to find her. Like, I want to see what she's doing.
Yeah,
like, I want,
she passed away a couple years ago.
She did?
She passed away a couple years ago. I was really sad because I really wanted to just put the shoe in her hand of like, you mean something.
Oh, that's all life is about.
You mean something.
You mean something.
You mean something.
You mean something.
That's it, man. Like, that is it. You mean something, and I know that you don't know me. You know what I'm saying? Blah, 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 blah. I'm whatever. But you mean something, and I dedicated my last collaboration, this is my last sneaker with Saucony, to you, to your family,
God.
To what you do, to what you did. And we even put a hair clip as our lace lock. Or whatever on the instead of like a regular lace lock, we put a hair clip because we designed this shoe. You have to design things a year out. So I'm not a bandwagon type of person. I never have. I never will be. I've always supported women's basketball. Taking it back to when I was living in Atlanta, and I used to play practice with the women's basketball team because I got cool with Angel McCautry, who played for the Atlanta Dream, and she's like, "Oh, why don't you come practice with us?" And used to come put up shots with them and get cooked. How whatever, but I enjoyed it. Like, it just like, man, I was like,
and you're a legit basketball player.
Oh yeah, you know what I'm saying.
I've seen you play basketball. You're like, you're really,
I care. Like,
for lack of better words, you have a very pretty shot.
Oh man, like, it's a shot. Like, it's not like a rapper shot. Like, if you ever see Meek Mill or Travis Scott shot, like, it's like, oh my God, that's like you could only shoot with that shot for money in the hood on a playground shot.
Yeah,
or whatever. It's like, no, like, I have a lethal shooter shot.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, I already was a fan of women's basketball. I said, anything I do is intentional. I'm not just pulling, tricks out of a hat.
Yeah.
Whatever, like, it's intentional. So I knew that I supported women's basketball. And I also knew that Saucony, they're a running and walking company. So the only reason that they have this shoe in their archive is because in the 90s, basketball shoes became a thing. We had the D Brown pumps from Reebok. Nike was coming with killers and killers and killers of shoes, and they wanted to have something to compete. So Spot Built was the official referee sneaker back in the day. Saucony bought Spot Built and took their soul. What a lot of people don't know is thousands and millions of pairs of shoes, but it's only so many souls. They call it a lask. They're like, basically, your house is your house, but you might not own the property your house is on.
Yeah.
And that's what it was with sneakers. Which the reason why Nike's always suing people is because they own their souls. Or whatever. The soul of a shoe is not that many souls on earth, but it's tons of uppers.
That's Bill Bowerman, who created I think it was the Nike brand. He created the waffle sole. He in a waffle iron. He gave it to Steve Prefontaine, and was like, tell me if you like this. Creating a soul is insane.
That's the thing.
Shut the fuck up. You're blowing my mind right now.
That's what sneakers is all. That's what the business of sneakers is all about. Who owns the soul? You have tons of people doing custom shoes now. Shout out to our buddy Jake. Shout out to the Sue Surgeon, my boy Dom. Like, all the guys, all the kids that we don't know, or whatever. But most of the times they're just looking
for any of our shoes that we have that we've had made. All our shoes are gone. I guess they've cleaned this set up. But
soles is what makes shoes. So they bought this sole back in the 90s from Spot Built to make this shoe, which is the Spot Built High. And you have the spot built low. You will have the spot built high too. And I'm going to get one for Leanne.
Oh, when Leanne saw those shoes today, that downstairs, I was like, because she's wearing a pair of similar shoes.
Yes.
And she was like, oh. And I was like, oh, she's all right. And I guess she's not the kind of person to ask. She'll just be like, where do I get them?
Yeah. And I appreciate people like that because brands like ours, people think that my success allows me just to, bro, we have to make money. We have to hustle, what I'm saying, as a brand, So it's like all support is appreciated. I appreciate you even taking the time to even allow me to talk about it. But the one thing I tell people is like, look, man, I'm not selling you a shoe. I'm selling you confidence. However, that's what I sell. However, I believe that if you put you said, what can a mediocre white guy in the middle of nowhere, what can he do one thing immediately to change his life? I believe if you buy my pants, they're actually called confidence pants. My first pants, they come out. They come out next week too.
Really?
With this, but all this is like my stuff, like this brand new. Our Leatherman jacket, our pants, these pants, and shoes. If not even this shoe, that is how you change how people look at you, because it is a thing that it does to your spirit when you've been walking on this earth and nobody notices you, compared to you walk on this earth and be like, dang man, nice shoes, bro. Oh, those pants are dope. It changes you. When
people, the feeling you get as a dude when another guy goes, nice kicks, you're like, oh, thanks. And they recognize them. Can I tell you what I have that I've never been able to rock? I have a pair of Tiffany Dunks.
Oh my God.
No, but they're fake.
Oh my God. Okay.
And I was like, I want to wear them because they're good looking shoes,
right.
but I'm terrified that someone's going to go, those are fake. Because I know they're fake.
Right. Man, we got to get you a real pair, man.
I opened them on Instagram Live. Some guy sent them to me and was like, yo, I want to be your shoe guy. Of course. And I was like, and I opened them and I was like, nice. And within 30 minutes, Jake called me and he was like, they're fake. And I was like, what? And he goes, I can tell from just your Instagram they're fake. And I was like, motherfucker.
Mm-hmm. I mean, shoes, man, they've done so much for me. I mean, to a certain extent, we're here now because of shoes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We give or take. And
honestly, really, because I would have just been a fan from afar.
Yeah.
Until you sent those to Tom, and I was like, "Oh, where'd you get those?" And he was like, "Trinidad." Then I was like, "Whoa, shut up!"
Exactly. And I was always thankful to shoes, man. That's why even me getting the chance to do shoes, I did. This is our final shoe. We did 6 shoes with Saucony. I know that I could do more things for other brands, but I'm grateful that I did 6 shoes.
Dude, I released a flip-flop. I don't have one, but I released a flip-flop.
Yep.
And I think I released it the week we did the podcast.
Yes. It kind of tied in hand in hand. Yep.
And I think we still make it. I don't know. I mean, I kind of got a little far away because when things got busier, I got a little further away. But even if we never do it again, I go, I did release a really successful flip-flop that sold out within 15 minutes. And then the next series sold out within 30 minutes. And I go, and I can always wear my flip-flops. And Ari Shafir, who's real picky dude, he's like, your flip-flop is the best. And just him calling me and going, dude, I fucking love your flip-flop. Yeah. It's just I did that.
Yeah.
I don't need to do everything. I did that.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the same for me, brother. The men and women that are going to support this are the ones that are already supporting it and know what it stands for. We have the original, the same patch I have here that shows the evolution of women's basketball. When women's basketball started,
that's what that is.
It's the evolution of women's basketball. And when women's basketball first started, that women had to wear dresses to play ball in. And then, it wasn't inclusive. And we wanted to tell that story because it wasn't Lucia was just a person, just her story just stood out with me. But just in general, women's basketball, the support that they need still to this day. And this is this is my way of giving them their flowers or giving them their trophies, because it's a lot. It's a lot. And I realize, even now with the things I'm going through and the obstacles that I come across when I'm, trying to get a sponsor or looking for help, however, with a great pitcher deck and all that. It's like some people just like, they don't care. So we still have a lot of growing to do when it comes to supporting women in basketball, women in general. And, you know, that's what my brand stands for, man. Homework. Like I said, we pick people that I believe you should do your homework on, things and stories that I believe that's worth going on the
That's a podcast right there. I'm being serious. All the shit you do homework on and then release your episodes once a week of just shit that you found fascinating and just you did the homework on and then you share it. I think that's a brilliant idea.
Thank you.
I think and it goes hand in hand with your brand.
Yes.
Great place. All your ads in it are for your own brand. I think it's brilliant. My goal is to, number one, meet James Purse. That's my goal. Have him on the podcast. Tom's already said, if you get him on your podcast, it's turning into Two Bears and we're meeting him together. And my goal then is to introduce him to you and have you step up his shoe game.
Oh, man.
And that would be, because if I could wear shoes you picked with his clothes, I'd be like, I'm fucking done.
Oh,
I don't need to dress myself again.
It's through the roof. And that's the reason, like brands like James Purse, Camper, though, that's why I just like, that's why you don't hear me say Nike or whatever, because it's like, Nike don't need me. Can I do my thing at Nike? Of course.
Yeah.
But I'd rather go where
I can do my thing at Nike.
Yeah.
Like Nike does its thing by itself.
Yeah. Like, it's like, oh, well, let me get some dunks and make it a cool color. Or whatever, and put a bear on the tongue.
Look, the fucking Run the Jewels dunks I love.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and so, but it's like, for me, when you could change the whole, I mean, I'll go everything, it changed me. Because it showed me that I have the power to change the world. At least America.
Yeah.
And America sometimes feels like the world because everybody's trying to be with or be like America. So it's like the fact that me, the immigrant, can do that and it's from the right intention, that's where my spirit stays at, man, where it's like, you know what? I know that this is what hype says or whatever, but I'm not hype. I'm the real thing. So it's like put a real person in a real position or give them a real opportunity and then I'll bring you the hype that you need, but the right hype.
What's the line in All Gold Everything when you go, hype fees, we know about you?
Don't buy shoes unless they're popular.
What's hype fees, we know about you?
Hype beast. So what I meant by that, it was a hype beast, I know about you. Hype beast, we know about you. Don't buy shoes unless they're popular. That, at the time, mind you, I'm writing this at work in 2012. Working at the clothing, the same store, I'm telling you, with the guy and the kid and all that. And I never was into hype.
Yeah.
I understood it or whatever, and I like good shoes because they're good shoes.
Yeah.
If those shoes end up being hype shoes, then okay, but I don't have every Travis Scott, and Travis Scott my guy.
Yeah.
Or whatever, just because I'm not into the hype. I'm into when he makes a good colorway because it's a Jordan shoe.
Just because of the hype.
Yeah, it's like it's a Jordan shoe at the end of the day.
We know about you. Don't buy
shoes unless they're popular because you're a hype beast. So I know you're a hype beast. I know you're not in it for real.
I've only done this to one other person, and it's Snoop. Where I was like, hey, this line in this song I've been singing, what does it mean, I drop potatoes on you? He was like, I have no idea what you're saying. I was like, I played it for him, and he was like, bitch, I drop rhymes like bombs. And I go, I thought you said I drop rhymes like potatoes. He goes, why would I say potatoes? And I was like, I don't know. You're the rapper.
You know, it's so interesting because I have to always remember that we do music and musicians do music. And so we hear clearly what we're saying because we know we said it. And then if you're playing it for another musician, the first people that you play your music for is not the consumer. You play it for other people in your world.
Yeah. And
they have the music brain. So they know everything you're saying. So it's like nobody thinks it's a potato. But to the consumer, they don't be knowing. They really, it sounds like hieroglyphics to them sometimes. Like, what is this?
Trues and Vogues still don't know what they are. There's so many songs as a kid that I would learn. I knew the lyrics to, but I didn't know what the lyrics meant. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was like crazy when I at a certain point there was a documentary on I think on the Dungeon Family.
Oh, yeah.
And all of a sudden, or no, I'm so sorry. I think I did a thing during the Olympics and I lived in Southwest Atlanta, and they said a name of a street that we needed to go pick up mattresses on. We had a box truck and we were picking up mattresses, and I heard the name and I went, that's a name in a song. That's a song lyric.
Right.
And I went, wait, this was a street? They were just talking about a street they were going
the whole
to.
time.
And I was like,
Camblin and Lilo.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I was like, son of a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I haven't listened to much hip hop lately, meaning like anything new.
Right.
I got into the Migos late.
Okay.
But like I don't know, everything's been country for me lately. Everything's been country.
Country's been really good.
Yeah, country's been really good.
Country's been really good.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, I love hip hop and always will, but country's been really good. It's been even more inclusive now. You know,
I'll tell you what I don't like, and this is going to sound like sacrilege.
Okay.
But I love the Kendrick Lamar song about Drake. You know?
Okay.
I like that song a lot.
Yeah.
I don't like them playing it in commercials on football games.
Right.
Only because it's a diss track. It's crazy to be playing a diss track on TV the way it is.
Yeah.
It's like wild that a diss track got that fucking big.
Yeah, I mean, and really the state of the culture, man, the state of the America that we're in and the world that we're in right now, you know, it's a lot of wars, a lot of hidden wars going on right now, bro. And, you know, some people are playing fair, some people are not. And it's almost like keeping the war going is what's keeping the money coming. And people don't want to not, you know.
Dude, I wish you knew any more about Zach Bryan and Brianna Chicken Fry.
I don't know what this at all.
I will not introduce it into your world. It's a country music star and this Barstool podcast host dated, and then they broke up. He offered her $12 million to sign an NDA. She chose not to and did a podcast about their relationship. And and then now people are doing diss tracks to Zach Bryan, and Zach Bryan's a very talented musician.
Yeah, I know the name.
But he's got to deal with all this extremely negative press like that. I mean, I would say won't be career ending, but
it definitely took a hit.
In the moment, it's got to be fucking scary.
Damn.
But yeah, I don't know. Dude, this has been an amazing podcast. I could do this anytime you want. We have a cooking show too, if we do it with two people.
Yes.
So if you want to do it with another person, anyone, we can do that. But you're fucking so multi-talented, such a multi-hyphenate, and like I said, just cool as fuck.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
I'm very blessed to have gotten to meet you and be your friend. It means the world to me.
Nah, man, thank you always just for seeing me for who I am and not what people say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a lot to me, man. And, you know, the things that you're doing, you're tipping the iceberg. So, like, you still got so much to go.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
from your mouth to God's ear.
You know, so, like, don't stop. You know, like I wrote on your box, man, if you're smiling, we're smiling. You know what I'm saying? And it's an important laugh that you give us, man. So thank you.
Thank you, brother.
This episode was brought to you by The Machine.